Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV podcast 601. Pierre Miller joined alongside Johnny V. It's funny, I literally didn't even look at you until 2 seconds ago. We've both been running around a little bit crazy here for the last 15 minutes. Yeah. So you sat down. I've been doing my thing.
I started getting the podcast.
Apparently you're next to me, so here we are.
I am next to you.
Okay,
I'm here,
great.
Which is good because I didn't look at you either other than the back of your head when I ran in, sat down. My wife literally finished up with dinner, thank bless her, about 10 minutes ago. So we sat down to eat some shepherd's pie, and just I shoveled it in my face, and I came running back down here.
That's hot.
It was actually pretty warm. Are you familiar with shepherd's pie?
I don't know.
You'd like it.
I mean, just everything inside of a.
It's more or less like
Isn't it a lot of meat?
It's like a casserole, so it's got like meat, and it's got carrots and green peas and some sort of sauce, but then it's layered on top with mashed potatoes and cheese.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Now maybe you lost me at carrots, but you got me back with mashed potatoes.
Just a little bit of carrots. A little bit of carrots, Terry.
Okay.
You have said your job, or you're trying to improve your health. You're doing all this walking.
Right.
You looked really good when you were overseas. You look less good now that you're in person. I'm just saying.
There's only so much we can do about that.
I know that's I'm not saying anything about your the size, just in general.
The studio adds 40 pounds. That's what you've been telling me.
Yeah, well, it's added 40 pounds to both of us in the last 11 years.
Exactly. So, welcome in everyone. Tonight, in just a few minutes, we're going to actually have none other than Raven Newsom joining us here on the show. Of course, you've seen him for quite a few years, and it's well overdue that we have him joining us and talk about the stellar performance that he had just this last weekend. Of course, finishing up in second place at the Queen City Classic. So on the podium, well, like we used to say in Wisconsin, when you finished second to Barry Schultz, which was pretty much like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
I remember I finished second to him, and I was like, well, I beat all like the normal people.
Yeah, but that's...
because you didn't plan to beat Barry. Well, who's planning on beating Gannon these days?
They all are. They're all planning it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, who's
executing is different, though.
Yeah.
Planning and execution are two different things. I don't believe that the pros think like that.
No, of course not.
No. There might be a few of them. If you're rated 1020, that's the difference. The 1020 to 1050. That's the difference that you were to Barry. Maybe you were 980, 990, but he was like 1020.
Right.
And so that's what you're looking at. You're like, hey, if I can get close, or I beat him for a round, or I just take second place. But the pros that we have out there, they all know that they can compete at the level of Gannon Burr. It's just a matter of doing it for 3 straight rounds. That is the consistency
and
part.
hoping that Gannon doesn't play at his average or above as well.
Well, he can play at his average. They don't want him to play above his average.
Yeah, congratulations, of course, go out to him. And then a little bit of drama that we saw on the FPO side of things with Jessica Weiss, after taking a little time between big wins, was able to capture this one in an exciting fashion.
It's like 2,700 and some odd days.
I'd walk 5,000 miles. All right. With that being said, we're going to bring in right now. He's got things to do, so we got to catch up with him. None other than Raven Newsom. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great.
We're good, but I don't feel like we're ever. It's rare that we are nearly as good as our guests, especially after this last weekend. And I know you've won some tournaments, but talk to us about what it feels like to have such a solid performance here this weekend and to come in on that podium in that second place spot.
Man, it's pretty special. I grew up in North Carolina, so I had a crowd all the days, even when I teed off at 2:40 for the starting day. Like I had people out there cheering and friends. It was really special. I got to see familiar faces from my home club come out. I had someone there who helped me learn a putting grip when I was like 12 years old, so it's pretty special to be able to do something like that in front of your home crowd. I probably played Hornet's Nest 50 times or so I'm comfortable on the course, and it definitely suits my style of golf, but it was really pleasant just playing golf that reminded me of home. But beyond that, I had a great first season on tour, and then I got injured, and it's plagued me for a long time. And I have worked really, really hard just to get back to being able to be at a competitive level, not better than where I was. And this off season, I worked so hard. I put on 21 pounds. I was in the gym 5 days a week. I was eating 3,500 calories a day, and I got stronger. But mentally, my headspace has just been cleaner. And there are times that I used to be scared of those moments. I've been in the mix and in the conversation plenty of times, but actually closing it out into a really good finish, not just like a fifth or a sixth, but like a strong competitive finish was really fun. I didn't shy away from it, and I stepped into it, and I played really good golf, and I was really proud of that.
Yeah, as you should be. And I hear you on all of those results. So with everything you just said there, is there anything that you can really pinpoint that got you to that strong finish? To be able to close out, as you were just saying, you've been there, you've been in considerations and conversations and talks in the past, but to finish it, was there any defining moment or key element?
My headspace has been really clean. I haven't been too stressed. I had my dad on the bag. That was really nice. He just kind of walks around, doesn't talk too much, and hangs out, and that's a really nice balance because I talk a lot. So it's nice to have someone like that. And I don't know, it was really pleasant, but I was adamant about my mental game the whole time, and I just wanted to make sure that no matter what, I was giving everything the attention it deserved, and just tried to stay in control of my game. And it was really confidence boosting when I was putting very well. I switched putters this off season, so at the start of the season, some of the confidence with them was still breaking in. I won an A tier to start the season, but it wasn't like stellar putting. I just threw really well, and I made some putts. And then we had Supreme Flight, and I had the nastiest blisters on my feet that I've ever had in my life, and I putted really bad. And then I tweaked my putting form a little bit so that it was more direct and more deliberate. And now I'm even standstill putting outside the circle, which is like super far fetched for me a little bit, but it helped. And so when I got into a rhythm putting in the competitive round, I was able to stay in a rhythm and trust that if I got a look, I would make it.
So you can't just leave that hanging out there. You said you changed putters. What did you go from to?
Yeah, I putted with anodes for 9 years. I putted with electron firm anodes, and they were amazing. They were great. I think that as I got older and I got more, as I just grew, my grip maybe has changed on the disc a little bit, and I wasn't getting as consistent releases on them as I want out of a putter. And it's nothing to do with the putter. I think it's just really all me, and like we change in our life. But I switched to Eclipse Electron Proxies. So they're a little bit thinner. They're a little bit shallower, and they glide a little bit more. So I get more of a direct putt out of them. And I had a bugaboo of some Circle 1 putts being low misses, and I'm finding them to be firing a lot faster, which is really nice. So I can putt from farther away in the same type of stroke, and it's making a solid difference so far. I've been enjoying them.
And I guess with them maybe carrying or whatever, is that attributed, like, do you feel like to glide then? Like they're just hanging, You're putting it on the same line. It's just similar getting there with a little less effort.
Yeah, and they're not as stable. So okay. I definitely noticed at first that some of my Circle 2 was struggling this year. And normally that's what I pride myself on. I think at Hornet's Nest, I was like 53% from Circle 2 or something, and like that was pretty strong. But normally I average closer to like 35 to 40 on like a good tournament. And I think at Supreme Flight I made like 3 or 4 Circle 2 putts, or maybe not even that, and it was just like not super confident. And I think that there's a level of, when I putt with anodes, the intuitive where they would dive to go into the basket was great, where these, it's like more direct the whole time. So I'll hit the band a lot when I'm not thinking too much about it. And so I have to be adamant about it. But I've spent a lot of time on the practice greens over the last 3 weeks, and it's gotten a lot better.
I guess I want to follow up too. And another interesting thing you just said, which doesn't sound pleasant, is that you had blisters.
Oh, they were nasty.
It was within the conversation of putting, and I'm thinking, I don't think you're getting it from that. Just shoe choice, new shoes, different shoes, or the terrain? Like what was causing that, and how'd you remedy that?
Oh, great question. When we played the A tier in Alabama, the Frostbite Open, in our first round, it poured rain, but we played 2 rounds in one day and then 1 round the next. And so the first round, it poured on us, and I was wearing 1 pair of shoes, and I just like totally started tearing up my feet. And then I was like, okay. And then like the second round in that day was like drier, but it was still like humid, and it just like it got worse. And I was like, okay. And then the next day I had some blisters, and they hurt, but I gritted through it and won. And then we got to Supreme Flight, and they'd healed up pretty good. I'd switched shoes for some of my practice. It was good. And I put on my like more competitive shoes for like playing in the tournament, and they're great. I just have custom inserts on the Vivos, so they sit just a little bit higher. And I think that was kind of chewing up my feet a little bit. And we ended up, and then it started raining really bad Friday at Supreme Flight, and it just re-inflamed them. And then they got like black and red, and it was really, really not good. I had it in an Instagram post. I was just like, well, I didn't play great, and my feet hurt a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking, you speaking of an Instagram post, you probably had to take a break from the foot modeling and the foot pics for a little while. And that's a loss of revenue right there, I'm sure, for you.
Really hurt.
Right? Like there's a lot of fans that are let down.
So I had to get second. Yeah.
Well, it's what's so as much as it sucked going through it, that's so enlightening to hear, because that's a story and a real world challenge that so many people would never in a million years even think about. Like just you or people having that struggle of going out and playing on these terrains. How crucial footwear is for everyone, but when you're doing all these athletic moves, but then going through these different conditions, the humidity, the rain, drying, everything in between, plus inserts, like just stuff we would never think of. And
then am I gonna change shoes so that I don't get blisters, but I might slip on the tee pad? Like, no, like I don't want to risk like playing worse. So, but then you have to balance the line of like how painful is good. Is like comfort important? So it's wild.
Yeah, it's almost like you needed a New Balance shoe.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
Well, I was, and everyone sees Terry. Everyone. And I was going to ask, what did you learn about your feet and your footwear for the future? Like, if you know that there's going to be inclement weather, as it seems like once a month we're playing in some sort of rain. What are you going to do?
I now have a second pair of shoes that has the same bottoms, and they don't have the inserts in them. So if I'm going to get blisters, they're going to be a little bit lower.
Wow. Okay.
That way I don't double up.
Okay.
Mitigating. All right.
Right. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Well, I know you. And again, I'm not trying to rub it in. You didn't win. I know you didn't win, and this is normally a question we ask though. When somebody does perform really well, what do you splurge on? You still got a $5,000 check, which is more than most people will win this year on any given day. Where's the splurge in any way, shape, or form this week, we'll say?
Man, I'm such a frugal guy. We bought a house, so it's house payments.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
No,
okay, so practical.
All. Yeah, I've always been a practical guy.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm not the type of guy to really splurge too often, but when I think about it, like I've got everything in the world I really need, so it's hard to like just go out and buy random junk.
Okay. Again, very practical and resourceful, and I can certainly appreciate that.
And this is your biggest payout that you've ever had, is that right?
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Yep.
All right.
Yep. I see it's hitting the bank account later tonight. So
You're gonna get a call from the bank. Are you sure? We're gonna double check on
I've
that.
seen one like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a decimal point off? Because
You might. Ouch! Which way?
Heck, no. It is. It certainly has to feel good. And everything you just said with regard to your challenges or your struggles as Supreme Flight are reflected in your overall scoring for the year. When you look at where you finished and the results you've had, you mentioned you won the Frostbite Open where that happened, but 61st at Supreme Flight, which is the only event you didn't cash in. Then you played in a flex, but then 7th at Mobile, 12th at Big Easy, and now a second place.
And that Mobile tournament, I was 3 strokes away from winning. Just everyone played great. It was nuts. Well, maybe it ended up being 4 at the end, but it was all really tight coming down the stretch. It was interesting. Yeah.
So what? Obviously, you've had some things that you've changed up. You seem to be in a great space, but what are you thinking about right now? We're about to move into April of 2026. Is what will happen when you wake up tomorrow. Where are you at overall mentally with your disc golf game and your outlook for 2026?
Man, I am playing some of the best golf of my life. I am comfortable and confident. I love disc golf, and it's different for everyone. But disc golf's always been really special for me, and it's been there during the times that it's been really hard, and also the times it's been really easy. And just this is one of the times that it's easier, and I'm different than I was last year, and I'm different than I was 3 years ago. But I am a lot more in control of my mental game. I'm a lot more in control of my body. I'm healthier than I've ever been, and now I can throw the disc way farther. And that used to be the thing that pushed me back. I think my first year on tour, I was 3rd in circle 2 makes and bottom 5 in OB rate because I was going out of bounds 45 feet from the basket and then making the putt and getting pars. It was crazy. I think I had 90 more makes than the next person from circle 2 on the whole season or something.
Wow.
Like that. It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in that you're making all of them, but then on top of that, you're like, I'd like to be a little closer. I don't want that many circle 2 putts.
And for par, come on.
Yeah.
So now I can throw it farther. And going into the rest of the season, I'm ready to play great golf. And now also I feel a lot of the love from our whole team. I'm now being the team captain of MVP. I'm definitely starting to feel more integrated in our team environment and getting to know a lot of the people on the team more personally than I already had, and getting to take on more of that role and feel some more camaraderie and building together. It's been really great. And I don't know, that's the type of thing that helps build me up.
Yeah, and I saw that announcement regarding the team captainship, and congratulations. What does that all entail? I know you just kind of talked about what's happening from it, but when they put it down on paper, okay, Raven, team captain, and then they list, roles, or responsibilities or things to consider. What are some of the types of things that come as being team captain?
Yeah, it was a huge list, so I'm not going to remember it all off the top of my head. But no, when it comes down to it, man, we want to have a team environment for MVP. And I've been on the team for 8 years. And when I joined, I was 944 rated. So I've been in almost everyone's shoes that's on the team right now from start to finish. And so I might have a unique perspective in ways that can be able to help, ways that we can create more of a team environment. Things that I'm taking on this year, I'm going to be doing a clinic circuit that we're calling Run It with Raven, which will be really cool. We're going to release those for Champions Cup. It's going to be our first one, and then we're going to have more throughout the season. So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to have I'm going to have a guest from MVP come and help me run a clinic, and we're going to be able to integrate, and we're capping each clinic at 35 people, but we're going to allow it for a way for us to be more engaged with our community where we go to do these things. And it's not going to be on the actual tournament days, but with the local clubs in the area that we're going to be having these tournaments at. And then I'm also going to be running I grew up with something called putt night. And so we have like, it's like a putting league. But it's not like your traditional Charlotte area putting league. It's like you set up 9 baskets. It's a flex start for 3 hours, and you get a card together, and there's 3 stations at each basket, and you go through each stations, like all the shorts, all the middles, and then all the longs, and then you get a cumulative score and you turn it in. And but it's like a lot of fun. You build this camaraderie, and all of them have like different styles of obstacles and fun things. And I'm going to set these up at different tour events that we're doing and encourage like lots of our team to come out and have we're going to have it as an ability for people to meet people on MVP, for them to be able to vend discs, but also for like people to go and putt with players on MVP for their rounds, and like be approachable, be accessible, so people can see us and talk to us. And then I also am now running like fieldwork sessions throughout like the year, and we're doing them at most of our events. So we started one in Charlotte, but we're going to have them at most all of our events this year, where we have a space for the team to come on like the Tuesday before competition if they want to work on any of their styles of shots, if they want to help teach anyone that's there, if they just want to work on their bag, if they want to film content, whatever it is. But I'll set them up for 2.5 hours, and people can come and at any point throughout it and be able to work on things, or if they want to try out any of our new discs that we're going to be coming out with, or discs that I have in my car, if they're looking for whatever it be. So I'm trying to create and cultivate like a team atmosphere so that people feel more included, regardless of skill level on MVP, regardless of contract level on MVP. It's open to all of our AM players as well. Anyone that's on MVP in the area is more than welcome to come and join for any of it. So we're trying to integrate top to bottom feel for inclusion. And I think it's a role that I really like trying to take on. And I want everyone to feel empowered and excited about being on the team. And if there are things that I can do on my own to be able to do that, then I'm excited to be able to push that.
One of the things along those lines, and all of that's incredible, along those lines is the team that MVP has built up in these last 8-10 years. And I'm a little old school, and I think back to some of the earliest days where someone like Matt Dollar was at one point the highest rated player on the team. Matt, more of a regional player by then, wasn't necessarily on the world stage regularly at that point. And then picking up Elaine King and then Sarah Holcomb, I feel like were two of the names that they were after. And then obviously as things continued to, blossom out, I think of obviously James Conrad and that move, and then hitting that one Frisbee throw he had.
Seemed to work out for him.
But it's just been incredible. And then to see these really big superstar names, in Simon and Eagle and so on, Madison Walker, everybody, all these people. I don't want to also insult by not mentioning someone, but what is it about Team MVP that has helped it develop into what it is? I mean, because it was a small team, and I remember always thinking, man, they need some names if they want to promote their product, or do they? I don't know, but here you are with a team full of very recognizable names, and again, you're the captain of them. Man. Yeah, superstars.
Yeah, MVP is an excellent company, and it has grown a lot. And its capacity to produce discs has increased significantly since the beginning. Its marketing has gotten better. We have been able to develop new discs and try new things, and kind of push the development of plastic. I feel like to the limits, but that's my own personal opinion. I think that we have been able to experiment and try things and do stuff, and we're not afraid to innovate. We're not afraid to work on stuff and push new plastic and new product. And we work well with our brick and mortars. We push to be able to have access, or we push to be able to have like tons of product. And now with all of it being in-house, they don't have to rent it out. They don't have as much of that overhead. They built their business model really well, at least to my understanding. And I think that has scaled as we have grown and picked up players to be able to push more discs and to be able to sell new lines.
Is it, and as it's even being, somebody just said how MVP is, the hottest thing going. It's kind of wild to see this growth in a lot of the, of course, the sales and everything else, but just the sheer, I'm not going to call it a cult, but the sheer fandom of it all, as to what it has become. Has it surprised you? Especially because you were around when we saw Innova was, undoubtedly the top dog. We've seen Discraft continues to do amazing stuff, and so on and so forth, and a lot of companies. But MVP feels like it's out there, maybe even out in front of all the others right now.
Yeah, MVP is really progressing very well, and I'm not surprised. I've believed in this company for a long time. I've been here for a long time. I've never been sponsored by another company. Like I love MVP, and they're great. And being a part of that team and a part of this company, I've seen a lot of growth, and I've seen a lot of product come through. And I don't know, like our quality has gone up overall, and I am not shocked in the slightest that we're one of the biggest companies right now.
Well, and I feel a lot of it has to do with not just, a lot of what Raven's talking about, just the culture, but things like the gyro heads and Gyropalooza and bringing all of that, like really catering to your hardcore fan base, I think helps out quite a bit. We see a lot of these companies now, they're kind of starting to get there with things like Disc East. You've got the showings and stuff like that. But I really feel like MVP was one of the earliest to really embrace that type of culture and community.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. There's, when we look back, and I'm sure it's already happening to this day, but I think about both high school and or college papers, being written on, doing case studies on various companies, and thinking about what can be done even in the disc golf community to this day, as we've seen so many of these companies in both their rise and or regression in, various companies in various ways. It's maybe one day Raven's going to be interviewed as the main point of contact for one of those case studies here at some MBA level.
That would be wild. I actually have a fun anecdote. In high school, my senior project that we have to do was I had to write. I built a disc golf course, and then I started a disc golf club at my high school, and then we competed in the local high school disc golf league.
Perfect.
But
exactly.
I also started teaching people how to play disc golf in our smart lunch activities. But I had to write a paper about disc golf, and I have been watching disc golf for forever. And since just forever. And I think I can't remember, the title was something along the lines of disc golf, not just a sport, but a lifestyle. And it was 12 pages, thick. I think it was pretty good. I don't have really access to it anymore, but I loved it. Yeah.
I'd love to see you read that now, out loud, and then reflect on what you said then. Of course, green but passionate, versus now the life you've lived in playing as a professional for these number of years. That would be a pretty wild readback, so to speak.
Interesting.
So I'll follow that up with kind of definitely a random question, as most of mine are.
Bring it.
If disc golf got wiped off the planet tomorrow, somehow it disappeared and could never be played or seen again, where or what would be your path? What would interest you? Where would you maybe find a career, or what would you look to pursue we'll say in a professional sense, as in how would you try to collect a check?
Yeah. I was going to school to do environmental business consulting. And so I could go back to college and finish up my degree and get my focus was business administration with a minor in environmental sciences. So I want to work with local businesses to create more environmentally friendly business practices. So I would do something along those lines, because I think that being passionate about what you do and having an impact with that is important, at least for me personally. So I would want to do something like that.
You are knock on wood, a very long ways away from not throwing Yes, in a competitive sense, as in,
Yeah.
what have you thought about your post-competitive days, as to what that might look like, and any role within the sport? Has the role even been created yet? I guess maybe is a fair question, because
Yeah.
you're 20
I've
years away
definitely
from that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I run tons of lessons in the off season, and I do pretty well with that. I really enjoy it. I think that as I work into more of a leadership role within MVP, as years go on and the company grows, and as I transition out of the sport into older age, I think that there's probably a level there in which I can still be valuable beyond just the actual play of disc golf,
Hmm.
which I think would be really interesting. I love commentary. I've done commentary before, but I really enjoy it, and I like watching the live commentary. And I'll talk to my wife while some of it's going, and then like 3 seconds later, the commentator says the same thing, and I think that
Hmm.
that's really funny. But I just I don't know. I don't see a world in which disc golf isn't a part of my life. I get so much joy and passion out of it beyond just like the actual paycheck. Like it's something that I truly love and enjoy spending time with. And I've been playing since I was 4 years old. So like it has been a part of my life from the beginning. And it would be really hard for me to have live in a world where I don't really get to do that. It means a lot more to me than I think maybe it does for other people.
Well, and to be fair, and I'm sure every listener that's watching you probably already knows this, but in case someone doesn't out there, you also have married Sarah, who,
Yeah.
of course, has ties then to Maple Hill and into all of disc golf. So, yeah, when you talk about it being a more than just playing right now for a paycheck, disc golf's in the entire family, and
It is.
yeah, the family tree, so to speak, in almost every way, right?
Yeah. I mean, Steve Dodge was our officiant.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
how cool is that? When
It was
he's
pretty
not
awesome.
firing you on your own show, that
Nope.
would be like second up. That I would love for him to be marrying
Hmm.
me. Or,
I
wait,
think he's already married.
marrying. Never mind. Anyway, no.
Right.
Yeah, very cool. What is your tour slash home life, but like tour balance right now? As we're seeing some players that are going out for stints, we're seeing players, go out for 9 straight months and barely return home. How are you going about it this year?
I'm trying to balance it as best I can. It's always a grind. I think that I am going to be at most all of the main Pro Tour events. I picked up some A tiers this season.
Hmm.
I like to get 3 or 4 in a year just because I think that they're great for competitive juices and trying out new stuff, and building confidence. Um, I am doing everything until through Austin, and
Mm.
then going back for a week, spending some time with my wife, and then flying out to OTB, and then I'll play OTB and then have an off week. And then I think Sarah and I are going to go to Napa Valley and spend our 1 year wedding anniversary together, which will be really
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
And then I'll play Portland and then do the Europe swing. And then when I get back from Europe, I'm gonna skip Heinola,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna have like 3 whole weeks, 3.5 weeks at home, which will be really nice and be a good like mid-season reset. It'll be a grind to that point, I think, but then I'll have like a mid-season reset, and then I'll have a few more tournaments, and then I'm gonna skip Preserve
Mm.
and go to Maine. Sarah's family has like a lake house up there that they go to every year, and it's a special thing. And so I've never been able to go before, so I'm really excited to get to go for the time that they're all there this year. And then the week before Worlds, I'll be flying to a friend's wedding and then coming back.
Mm.
So it'll be, I get a fair balance. I think having 3.5 weeks, like almost a month off in the middle, will be great. I've never had that much time, so that'll be really fun, and it can help with play sometimes. But when you're playing well, it's hard to want to stop playing because like
Right.
I'm trying to get to 1040.
Hmm.
Like, I want to win.
Yeah. Understandable that, yeah, you want, it's always like, when you finish the final round of a tournament and, you finished, I don't know, 5 under through the last 6 holes or something. You're like, what? More golf. I want to play more golf.
Yeah,
Is there,
Do another lap.
yeah, exactly. So I love it. And okay, well, especially since you're not going to be there and therefore I can't pick you and a potential teammate to win it. Who do you got for Preserve? And maybe even more so than who do you have? What excites you most about who's going to team up and how that's going to play out?
I think Preserve and this doubles dynamic is awesome. I am really sad that this is the one I'm missing. It's for a great reason, and I'm totally excited to be doing that. But compartmentalizing wise, like that's really cool, and it's our first doubles like tournament that you can earn points at. Like USDGC is really cool that you got to do doubles, but I think it's really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's played, and I imagine if this type of thing stays on the tour, that the type of doubles will shift. I would love to see like a worst shot doubles come about too, to create more drama or more intrigue. I think that type of thing could be really fun. So, or it's just kind of a free for all for who signs up. So if you ended up having just like Gannon and Ricky, and then you have like, if you just like go down the list of top 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like it would be interesting. But when you have this good of players, if the holes aren't hard enough, you're going to see a lot of 18 downs. So I'm interested to see how tricky they make the holes, how tight they make Mandos, how funky it ends up playing, because that'll be really fun to watch. Especially if it's going to be best shot like that, then I expect there to be a lot of drama with the hole designs, and make it really challenging and make a layup versus a go for it play more enticing. Like the practice that week is probably going to be really fun because you're just going to be playing with the person that you're playing with, and you may not even practice with them very much normally. So I'm interested. I'm excited to see creativity. I don't really care what player it is. I'm just excited to see creative shots, because I certainly will be watching the live coverage even while I'm at Maine. I don't think I have it in me not to. Unless we're out on the boat or something.
Fair.
Yeah.
What last question on that would be, has there been any team that you're like, and like it kind of surprised you, or maybe you didn't see it coming, or maybe you're extra excited about? But is there any team that you've seen team up when you've been like, oh, okay, yeah, let's.
The only one that shocked me a little bit was Ricky and Adam.
Okay. Yeah.
But I wonder if that was just like late in figuring it all out. I don't really know.
Sure.
But I don't know their personal relationship very much. I just like when I was thinking of it, that's the first one that seemed like a little bit different to me. Okay. I figured like Adam would have paired up with AB or something like that.
Sure.
But I mean, there's so many great players, man, and I'm not shocked to see good players playing with good players. I think it would be really fun if you had to play with someone that's not on tour. And
there might be a murder in the parking lot then.
You bring your great local guy. You know,
yeah, bring
like 990, but he puts his butt off.
Someone who doesn't have a tour card, like your non-tour card holders.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you're in Minnesota, and then then we see a reemergence of an Alex Geisinger all of a sudden shows up.
Oh,
like you have these people in like tucked away in your back pocket.
I don't care how old he is. I'm still going with like a Danny Polk.
Yeah,
that's who I'm pulling out of my pocket if I'm going to Minnesota.
Yeah, lots of.
I'll take Matt Dollar.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it would be so fun because we all know those people who aren't necessarily on the tour or have a whole nother life, but are actually killers out there. You know who I'm taking? Joe Revere.
Oh my gosh, he's
right.
So
like
good.
He's not on the tour, and people know him, but he's a little on the.
That's why I learned step putting after, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Him and Trevor Harbolt.
Yeah, and happy birthday to Trevor, which I believe is yesterday. So happy birthday.
So you're going with Paul. You're going with Joe Revere over the actual champion, Paul Oman.
I'm not saying
I'm just saying.
Paul.
I bet Paul Oman has a tour card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He might.
He probably does.
might.
So
Saying.
either way,
He's
both
pretty
guys.
good.
I'm like, hi, partner. I have to look up 3 feet. Anyway, anything, whether it was from you mentioned commentary earlier, whether it was from a commentator perspective or even just an overall misconception or whatever, is there anything from this weekend that needs clarity? Somebody said or assumed something or overheard the wrong thing. I don't know. Is there any PR from this weekend that you have?
Not particularly.
Okay.
My dad had to leave on the first hole of the final round to go and get new shoes.
What? You guys in your
the
shoe
rule-
problems?
Yeah, no, that's actually really funny. But like, the rule says that you have to have like soles. But we thought that the rule was closed-toed shoes, and someone had come up to me and said that it has to be closed-toed shoes.
Right.
And then so we went and asked our marshal that was on the car, be like, hey, like just to make sure, we want to like, I don't want to get in trouble. He doesn't want to get in trouble. Do we need to do anything? He said, well, go change them. And so Dad had to like leave first hole, and so like I'd thrown my tee shot. He had to go back to the car. Right. I'm like final round, like not far back. And I just put it like 15 feet, almost missed my putt. Like Dad's gone. Like my wife just randomly got the bib. And so I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. And she's a great caddy, but like I was expecting Dad,
Right.
And then like I bogeyed the next hole and then went like par. And then my dad just comes strutting back in shoes. He was out there in like sandals, but like,
okay.
Anyways, and so as soon as he showed up, I birdied the next 5 holes in a row. I was like, "Oh, thanks, Tim. About time."
Nice. All right, he brought some soul to your game or something. I don't. That's pretty funny. And
know what you're looking for?
Yeah. Like I mean, that's
those are great stories.
Yeah. What a random. Awesome. And to think that it could have been like incredibly dramatic or not in terms of something playing out, but. No, I mean, it sounds like it went as good as it could have.
I have another anecdote. That same round, I threw hole 8 at Hornet's Nest. It's that like long par 4 where you have to like stay. You need to not skip left into the woods, and it's got the diamonds on the trees and stuff like that.
Yep.
I would never have been able to do this before, but I threw a putter on my second shot and put it in the circle after going fairway off the tee. So like my power has grown an absolute ton, but like I had to ask Jake Mon, and I was like, "Do you think that I can get a putter there?" Like I don't know. He's like, "If it's the right putter, maybe." And then like sure enough, just like right into the circle.
Dang. Okay.
What did you do to increase your power? Is it something in the off season? I mean, obviously
those gains, bro.
Everybody
21
wants
pounds of gains.
Everybody wants to know how to gain more distance. So,
and it's not just weight. It's like rotational power. It's Olympic powerlifting. Like all different types of like good throwing, but also working on form. Like I've spent time trying to clean it up. You do what's comfortable in the tournaments, and in the off season, you push yourself to get better. And so my form has cleaned up. I've become stronger, and so I can hit the disc more, so that helps a lot.
Okay,
that sounds like work.
Yeah. That's why we're retired, Johnny.
I just thought you'd just pick up a different disc. Like, no, it was just the disc.
MVP came out with this great new disc you all need to buy, and I got 50 more feet out of it. That should have been your response.
Answer. Whatever your tour disc is.
Well, I worked really hard. Yeah. I don't want to discredit it.
Okay. Yes.
I know that one of the things, when I reached out to you about joining us tonight, you said you have a really special tradition, habit, whatever you want to call it. Explain why when we cut you loose here, what's next on the docket?
Yeah. Every Sunday and Tuesday from 9 to 11, I play video games with my friends from back home. It's a way for us to stay in contact. It's a way for us to hang out. And to me, that's really special, especially when you're on the road a lot and you don't get to see your favorite people all the time. So getting to do something where it's no stress and we just get to go and run around, and we play Arc Raiders and shoot at robots and like try and get loot. you know, or like we used to play Warzone and we just got beat up by a bunch of 12-year-olds, but we just like hung out and it was fun. So it's just like, it's like a way that we all get to spend time together. And I value that really highly. And to me, it's really nice. So I started with my friend Drew, probably, it's got to be almost 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago. And now my best friend Elliot and I and Drew just play video games, and it's really sweet.
Before I let you get to that, we got just a couple more questions. One of which is, though, do you struggle with the internet connectivity? I mean, being on the road, you know, do you guys, are you serious enough to even care about that when you're out there on the road?
I'm serious enough to make sure that I'm not lagging everywhere, but I'm not serious enough to be so competitive that like I want to win all of them. I want to have fun when I play the video game. That being said, I weirdly have US Cellular. Now, I did not realize I was going to be advertising this, but like I have not struggled with internet connection on tour at all, except in Peoria, Illinois. Everywhere else has been great. And like, I don't know if it's because we just use different towers. Like, I don't know what it is, but I have not had issues. And so anytime that I'm at a place that like the Wi-Fi is not good or something, I can always hotspot onto my phone, and that's worked out just fine. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect. Hey, I'm gonna run around.
US Cellular, get this man a sponsorship. That's I mean, you weren't maybe thinking you were asking for it, but it sounds like you're deserving of one. So US Cellular, reach out. Let's hook up Raven.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. All right, last question before we do let you go play some video games is anything you want to say to the world, the fans, you know, sponsors you want to thank, how we can follow your journey and the things you're doing in terms of social media. Hit us with all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to first start off with like a huge thank you to everyone who came out to Charlotte. I saw a lot of faces from my local club. I had a lot of good friends from Charlotte that were there, and then the local community showed out. They played an A tier and they came and watched. Like the volunteers were there, they did awesome. The DJ was great. Like it was really great. And every single person that I talked to just had such positive energy and was super excited for me and just like really kind. And I don't know, I'm really grateful for stuff like that. And the event staff for being able to put all of that on. Like it is not an easy job. Like they're seeing everyone plan it, perfect it, make it work, set up all the signs, set up all the baskets, set up all of every little thing that you just can't really think about. There's so many intangible things that we as players don't even see, and someone has spent 20 hours working on that. And it's just like that's really awesome. So I'm super grateful to everyone who put it all together, the local tournament staff, and all of the people that came out. I absolutely love that. As far as following my journey, I think I got a huge shout out to MVP. Like they are incredible. Right, they make amazing discs, and biasly, they make the best discs in the game. So go get them. Right, if you don't have a pyro, they're amazing. And I'm gonna have a cool disc coming out in May. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be really fun. But we also have really awesome teammates. So even if you don't see something on there of mine that you want, go and follow our team, follow our players. Check out their journeys. Give everyone on our team a follow. Like we've got a lot of really great people beyond just the disc golfing side. Like we have really good humans on our team, and I'm really grateful to be part of that with them all. So go and check out their profiles. Give them a follow. We've got some really awesome people out there. Huge shout out to my wife for coming to the tournaments and hanging out. I'm really grateful for her and getting to come and watch. Like when I got second, it's the first time she's been there when I've had such a great finish, and that was really cool. So I'm really grateful for that. And she walked all the rounds. She got to actually be like a spectator and have a beer and hang out and like do all that, which was really great versus like when she's a caddy and she has to be serious, like
and wear the right shoes.
Yeah, you got to wear the right shoes, wear the right attire. Yeah, got to wear the bib that doesn't match anything that she owns.
Oh, I know. I hear you.
Yeah, but. Sarah says hi.
Hello.
Yeah. But it was It was really sweet. And you can follow all of us on Instagram. I've got other awesome sponsors. DFX Discs makes some of the most amazing stamp discs that you can find. They've got the coolest art, without a doubt. So if you're not following DFX, go and check out DFX. Go and get some DFX hats. They've got really cool gooses, and they have tons of cool colors. So go and check them out. They're awesome. And then I have a dye sponsor, Chains or Dye. He's great. He does really good work. His name's Howie. He's just a really good guy. I've spent a fair amount of time with him, and it's always been very pleasant. So he does good work. And yeah. And Drive Bags. I have a chalk bag sponsor, and they make really good chalk bags. So I'm super thankful for all of the sponsors and everyone whose energy has helped get me to a place that I'm comfortable, like competing and being out on the road. Like, it's a hard thing, and having so much support from so many people that care about you and support you, it's a really special thing. I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I'll double down and say thank you to all the sponsors. I don't care who you're sponsoring. If you're involved in disc golf and helping, whether it's one player or 101 players, or the tours or the events themselves, obviously all of that support goes a long way for the players and these events and the media crews and everybody else to be able to have the entertainment that we're provided with, and then have the competitive spirit that you guys bring week in and week out. And just need US Cellular and then some big foot sponsor, shoe sponsor, and you're going to be rocking and rolling.
I will say I'm very grateful with the shoes that I have. They are awesome. I have a system. I have a system. I'm golden. It's going to work out. No need to worry. And I'm not slipping.
Do we need? I mean, we need to call out the shoes that you're wearing. What shoes are you wearing? They should sponsor you.
Vivo barefoots, but they've got the Michelin bottom, and I absolutely love them. Like, they're great. They're super good traction. I never want to risk not wearing them for tournaments, even if I'm getting blisters. But I've worked through it. We're on the back end of it.
Great.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Vivo. So get with it. Let's give this man a sponsorship.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah.
All right, Raven. Well, we'll say it again. Congratulations. Very
great shooting.
Well deserved. It's been awesome watching you. You and I go all the way back. I think one of our first conversations maybe was in Vegas on Fremont Street.
That sounds about right.
What? A long time ago. And you were the young man on the tour, and it's been a pleasure to watch you grow and excel and take on these new roles and responsibilities. And obviously nothing but accolades coming in on the chat as well as the rest around the world, people with nothing but great things to say, and all well-deserved. So we appreciate the time here tonight.
Thank you so much, man. This has been a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me, and I'm really grateful for it. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, buddy. Have a good night, and good luck. I'll probably see you at Champions Cup or something, and next time I'm filming an event on my channel and some commentary opportunity comes up, make sure you remind me, and we'll see if we can get you in the booth and on the mic.
I would love that.
Get him.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have a great night. See ya.
You too. Bye.
He seems like he'd be a really great commentator.
He's all right.
Like, not just good, but just probably great.
Of course.
He'd probably outshine you.
Well, wow, shocker. Well-spoken, sincere, knows what he's talking about. Yeah, of course, he would make for great commentary as well. And that doesn't sound like it may be too far-fetched, once his main playing days. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, clearly we don't have any crystal balls, but when you're thinking 10, 15, 20 years down the road, what media opportunities are going to be available, who's going to be vying for those, and then who's going to stand out and capture them. It should be fun to see.
Yeah, I think there's going to be I'm going to put him in a little box here. There's going to be a more than a handful of people like Dana Vici, I think, that are working for disc manufacturers, whether it's big or small, regional. I mean, if we just expect, some constant growth like we've seen, anywhere from 3 to 5% over the next 5, 8, 10, 15 years, I mean, it only makes sense that these manufacturers are going to need more help, and it makes sense for them to be dipping into someone with an established community and who knows about the product.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, for sure. Lots of opportunities when you're doing a good job. I guess that could be true for a lot of things, but a lot of industries, but especially here in disc golf. So, all right, let's quickly run through what else we saw, as it was the third?
The third stop.
It feels weird because I haven't worked one yet. I will be at Champions Cup starting next week, but our third stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour for the season, and we're talking MPO. So let's give me the top 5 or 10 or so.
All right, Gannon Burr made the event. As far as guessing who the winner was going to be, he didn't necessarily leave much to chance there. He dominated the round. He never really was in any sort of worry about losing. He takes home $10,000. He shoots a 1069, 1083, and 1058. So that is a pretty darn good weekend. And he wins by 4 strokes over Raven Newsom and Evan Smith. In 4th place, Jake Mon, shooting 18 under par, winning $3,000. 5th place, Harper Thompson. A tie for 6th, Casey White and Joel Freeman. Joel holding on to that Smashbox bump that he had for a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's really his first event since then. So
yeah, not quite what
his
Silas
first DGPT
was able to do from last week, but we'll skip that.
It's got to skip a week, I think. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works.
Silas.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry we wrecked it for you, Silas. 8th place, Kyle Klein and Joseph Anderson, Joey Buckets, as well as Austin Turner. That is your top 10 in MPO. I will say that is I don't want to say unique because those are all known names, but not having, and they're just right under 10th, Calvin Heimberg, Nicholas Antela, Ricky Wysocki, Isaac Robinson, Ezra Robinson. Like, those are names that you just expect to go up to be in the top. And they weren't. Like, they literally, like Chris Dickerson, 16th. I would have expected him. He has played really well at this event or at this course in the past. It's a course that sets up perfectly for him. And just a very interesting Aaron Gossage down in 21st. This course, as quote unquote old school as it is, really provides a great variety of players to have an opportunity to get to the top. And I think we see that with the names that are up there, at least in MPO.
Yeah, there was definitely some surprises in the scoring when it was all said and done, as you just said, and different names shifting up there. It probably sounds negative, but who's the biggest surprise that you saw struggle?
Ezra Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, Ezra and Isaac, I think they were both at like 6 or 7 over par after the first round.
Yeah.
And Isaac, I think you owe me $20 because I put $20 on you.
Ouch.
On Underdog.
Ugh.
I had like $35 or $40 left in there from last year, and so I was like, oh, good, they actually are offering up some odds on this one. Isaac was talking about how this is a great course and he loves it and it makes sense. He's a gap hitting machine. Well, yeah, of course I'm going to bet on him to do better than 10th. Wah wah. But no, Ezra Robinson coming in 101st at 17 over par, just not what I would have expected in a guy who I consider a good woods golfer.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah,
and everyone can have an off week. I don't want to pick on the guy. I do a little bit, but not too much. Just a rough weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and again, it's in a way, it's absolutely a compliment when you talk about a couple of these guys that you're shocked to see, just because you know how good they are and what they're typically capable of. All right.
The other surprise for me was Chris Clemens, because I feel like this course, of all courses, it's lefty friendly. I won't say it's like a great, like, oh my God, every lefty should perform well here. It's not like USDGC lefty friendly, which is much more open. You still have to hit gaps. You have to be a gap hitting machine, and having a lefty shot helps out quite a bit. But I was in my head when looking at all the names, I thought Chris was going to perform a little bit better with this course. So that's all. It's just, I feel like this course for the MPO layup, or for the MPO setup, lays out well for a lefty or someone with a good forehand. So, And over on the FPO, Jessica Girthy wins this in not dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
Kind of like just a strange circumstance that we don't really see very often. She came in off the second card. She shot 61 or 1,003 rated round. It was tied for the hot round of the event. I'm sorry, of the day. And
it was enough.
It was enough because we saw Cat Merch, like the last 3 holes just wrecked people. Hole 17, understandable. That's the one that goes, because all the holes are renumbered this year.
Yeah.
So it goes out and then cuts way up to the right. It's all through the woods, and hole 18 is a great finishing hole, to be honest. It's up on the hill. Mm-hmm. It's another dogleg right, but much more wide open. And Holland Hanley had an opportunity to, I don't want to say coast in, but she was in control with 2 holes to go.
Right.
And then just makes like a 17. I can't even blame anybody for hole 17. That's a tough hole. If you miss the fairway on your drive, there's almost no chance for birdie, if at all. And par is super difficult. But for her, I think she doubled that. And then on her drive on 18 to just throw it too far into those trees and go out of bounds straight ahead. It was just a brutal finish. Own not playing very well, I think, on hole 17. Didn't really give herself the opportunity to win. Cat Merch was right there. She had the opportunity. All she had to do was get up and down from about 150 feet to push it to a playoff. And she throws this little forehand, just juices it an extra 5%. And just enough to get on that downhill slope past the basket. It skipped up and kind of skittered out of bounds. And then there was no opportunity. So Jessica got to watch that, and you could see it register the minute it registered. She watched it, and then she just kind of fell down to her knees and put her hands in her head, and she knew it was done. It was over at that point. And obviously, as we, congratulations to Jessica, because she played very well all weekend. Nothing was handed to her. This is a course that I feel like she should shoot well at with her forehand and backhand skills. This type of wooded course. It's a little bit different for FPO, but it was an event or a course where I think a lot of people were just picking Holland. She can disc down on so many of these holes. But Holland just couldn't. The first 2 rounds she couldn't. It's funny because she shot 63, 63, 63, but her first 2 rounds didn't look anything like her final round. Her final round, she was cruising, playing so well in the front, and then just kind of folded it up in the back. So anyway, that your champion, Jessica Girthy, taking home $6,200. Congratulations to the Disc Princess. Second place, Owen Scoggins. Third place tie between Holland Hanley and Annika Sten, as well as Cat Merch. At 8 under par, Silva Saarinen with Missy Gannon. Silva had a phenomenal final round, shooting Jessica's was the second hottest round of the final, not the top, because Silva came in with a 60 after she, similar to Holland, looked bad. I mean, I have never seen Silva putt as poorly as she did. It was embarrassing. It was atrocious. She was missing.
But was it good or no?
No, Terry, it wasn't. Just things that you walk up and they are almost a given for her the past 2 years. She hits the top band. She hits the bottom basket. She airballs it right. It was almost, I guess knocking some rust off, being this first big event of the season. But then her final round, she clearly looked good. She putted well the final round. She threw well the final round. So maybe it was just a little bit of nerves, rust, whatever you want to call it, just getting back into disc golf mentality. But she made a run. She definitely made a run at the end where people were a little bit worried about her. Tied with Missy Gannon in 6th place. 8th place, Valerie Mondahano. 9th place, Kona Star Montgomery. Congratulations, Kona. And a 3-way tie for 10th between Kylie Kohut, Katrina Allen, and Ella Hansen. The other big news over on the FPO side is someone who we're not talking about. It's Cadence Burge. Cadence was in or tied for first or maybe one stroke out of first place going into the final round. Unfortunately, she looked like an 80-year-old man with back issues because she would throw after she's always a little, I don't want to say out of balance when she throws, because she tends to throw and then just, I don't say fall to the ground, but she tends to dip down at the end of a lot of her throws. But this was an extreme. Like, you could see her in pain after every throw, and picking up her mini, picking up her discs, just the way she walked down the fairway, it was difficult to watch. And the fact that she played as well as she did, that second round is a testament to her grit. But on top of that, then having the wherewithal to go to the emergency room that night with Shelby, and then withdraw from the tournament, realizing that she can't do it. She didn't want to. She made multiple posts about how disappointed she was going to be, how she thought she was disappointing her family, and just she's playing so well, but she just didn't. She could not physically do it. So,
and we all know, we see so many of the players, especially when players are proudly and understandably proudly holding on to a never DNF card in their back pocket, like they've never had to for any reason ever, and she still had that card, so to speak, in her back pocket and not wanting to give it up. But sometimes just nature has other, I don't know, is there Mother Nature for the body?
Slim Good Body.
Slim Good Body. Okay. That person left me a long time ago. Let's put it that way. They abandoned me when I was like 8.
You remember him, right?
No, I don't. That's the problem.
Oh, no?
No. Oh, Slim Good Body. Yeah, I do remember.
He was the dude on PBS that wore like the skin tight suit that with all the organs and stuff. Okay.
That was or was not Richard Simmons?
That was not Richard Simmons, but you could easily
similarities, right?
Yeah, kids, ask your parents.
Anyway, just a lot of pride, and understandably, and I'm not second guessing any of that. She was trying to fight through it, especially when you're playing well. Like you're sitting, you're hurt, and you're sitting on, third from last, or you're in DFL, you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense. But you're competitively performing and still somehow getting it done and playing well. It's got to be that much tougher. But unfortunately, I think all of our players are going to cross this bridge at some point of something tweaked, something didn't feel right. You slept wrong, you woke up wrong, you warmed up, different, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't hear
stuff happens.
I didn't hear what caused it. If she knows what caused it, if it was.
I feel like she said she felt something earlier in the week, or even the previous weekend, and then thought that she was going to be able to get through it. And even though she was in pain, she still played okay. So then again, it's almost hard. Sometimes it's hard to argue with the result. And then immediately when I read that post, I was thinking, as we all know, sometimes you're really hyper-focused on one thing, and maybe you're shutting off other parts of your brain that maybe challenge you. And it was, in a sense, almost a blessing in disguise in some way, or just a re-shifting of your focus. But when it was all said and done, she just ultimately had to withdraw. So, of course, we wish her the best, and hope, especially as such a young player, hope that she can get the rest and recovery, which is so tough because our schedules say, hey, you're playing next weekend or the next weekend or the next weekend. You're playing more weekends than you're not for a lot of these times. So
she just needs to take a break until Champions Cup. It doesn't look like she has any upcoming events. That gives you another basically weekend. Another
basically
week.
It's 7 more days.
One more week, and hopefully she's not old like us, that maybe she can heal a little faster.
Right.
But it just you gotta be smart. And I understand if this is a major, but if you're not feeling 100%, you're just going to re-injure it. And you have
prolong any kind of
and then you're looking at, if you re-injure it, you're looking at another week until Jonesboro, another week until, this is a busy time of the season. It's not when you want, obviously, clearly when you want to get hurt, but if you're looking at the next 3 or 4 events, if you're not 100%, I know it sucks, but you might just have to call it off for the major. So I hope she's feeling great come next week. It's all we can hope for.
We shall see. So best of luck to her, of course. Real quick, just of course, there's a graphic made. I'm cheating here, and I'm seeing it. 2,786 days between wins. I mean, feels like a totally different person. I mean, she's got a whole new name and everything since the last time she won. But Jessica, that's what, 8.5 years, something like that. So congratulations on that longevity and that grit. Yeah, 2018 Ledgestone was her last, Elite Series or major. And then I was just diving in. The largest paycheck ever of her career. Winning or otherwise, any other placings that she's finished. Her next largest paycheck was the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship of $4,000 back in 2021.
Nice.
And before that, $3,600. So definitely her largest check ever to date. So congratulations there.
Talk about some unfortunate timing. She was sitting there on 18 waiting for Cat Merch to finish up. It was 12:27 or something. Double G has to tee off at 12:30. It was like, or maybe it was 12:20 or something like that. But it was like a 2 to 3 minute. Like Double G could hardly get over to be able to. At one point I think he's able to get over and give her a hug and congratulate her, and then off to his tee time. But I'm just thinking, like, Double G, got to play yourself a little bit better. She can't help herself. You can. So Double G, you got to play a little better. So for these scenarios in the future that you're teeing off at 1:45 or later, preferably, so that you can be there when Jess is taking these down. So.
Well, I mean, nothing for nothing. We've seen similar scenarios with the likes of with Mason Ford and Valerie Mondahano at times. Silver was frequently out on the course while Kristen was collecting a trophy on the 18th green. So, I mean, come on, guys. Time it out.
I just think that most of these women need to do better.
You mean the men?
No. Women need to pick better men.
When's that play? Ouch.
Is that harsh? Is that too bad?
Yeah.
Sorry, I need someone who's going to finish higher in the ratings because I want someone here to support me. So do better.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the men could do better if they really. I mean,
there's
that.
But, yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about a couple A tiers real quick here. The 31st annual Texas State Disc Golf Championships, powered by One Star Mint Disc, a hot points event out of Victoria, Texas. Winning this one is GT Hancock, shooting 32 under par, winning $1,040. Second place, Seth Talbot probably, at 30 under par, tied with Mason Marchbanks. Fourth place, Charlie Moore. Fifth place, Freddie Meza. On the FPO side, Shiro Liu? I'm going to go Shiro Liu. Wins this, taking home $390. Second place, Stephanie Vincent.
And making, is this her first return to competitive golf? We see Luque Lorenzen, and I don't know if this was her first event. If you scroll down,
first event this year.
Yeah, it was her first event back since bringing more humans into the world.
Yeah.
So, it's good to see her, obviously, taking on some regional golf and probably easing into it, but is signed up to play in Jonesboro and then the Waco and then Austin. So the Texas Swing, where she is currently residing in Texas. So it'll be fun to see her back out there and see what she can do. Harness some of that Katrina Allen mom power that we've seen Kat show up with on some weekends here.
Hope so.
Okay, I like it. I missed, and I do not want to beat any dead horses, believe it or not. But I did miss. There was a call regarding a potential foot fault in the FPO field. Is that what I heard this weekend? Katrina Allen and had called somebody on a foot fault, and I didn't understand the context. If it was, I think it was not seconded by anyone else on the card.
Maybe.
Okay. I didn't see any of the FPO action. I saw some of the MPO action, so I'm truly ignorant to the whole scenario, but you're just as ignorant as me. Great.
When it comes to this scenario, although...
Great. You're supposed to be smarter than me. You got to carry our team here.
Oh, damn it. Did you see the worst putt of all time?
Well, first of all, I have some sympathy.
I know,
but
know.
yes, it was. Yes, I did see that live at the time.
I missed it live.
Yeah, and it didn't look like it stuck to his finger.
I mean, I don't know if he just didn't look up at where the basket was before he kind of threw. Like maybe his body was just a touch off, thinking that like, oh, I'm just gonna toss it in. Like for those of you that don't know, Casey White picked up a driver. I think he could have reached out and touched the chains.
It was a full 6 or 8 feet.
Full 6 to 8 feet. All right.
I mean,
but
he couldn't have like dropped it in or just extended his arm. I mean, he had to fully release it.
He had to release it, but he just airballed it. Like just like missed hard. And Casey's a good sport.
I'm surprised stuff like that doesn't happen more often. On 8, 10, 12 footers where you're just there's a disconnect in your brain for the slightest of seconds, and then I'm just honestly in general surprised we don't. I mean, we're to the point clearly where every time a Gannon or whomever walks up to anything inside like 15, assuming it's not
windy or something,
like you're like people are moving on to the next hole, nobody even cares.
Yep.
And I just think. Yeah, that's a different mentality than some people that are knee knocking at 15 feet. It's impressive.
It is, but unfortunately, Casey is going to have a low light for the rest of the year as probably the worst miss putt of the year.
Probably
short of a spit or anything like that. So,
right. Yes.
I mean, our heart goes out to Casey. May you pay more attention for all the rest of your short putts. Talking about the Greater Tulsa Open presented by DGA. This is an A-tier out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Emerson Keith takes this one down, shooting 18 under par, winning $1,253. Second place tie between James Collier and Joe Joe Durrell. We'll go with the easy way to say it. Fourth place, Nolan Ramser, and in fifth place, Abraham Bahana. Abraham. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Which is Bahana. A fair misread because it looks like it would be.
You're right.
He tied with Seth Ward for fifth.
Yeah. Then moving down to FPO, there were only 2 FPO competitors. So we got Evie Lou Ramey winning this, but declining cash. So the $337 goes to Macy Brannon.
Nice.
Yeah. Must be nice for Macy. she was cashing either way.
Right. She'll take it.
That's right. So that is your A tiers for the weekend.
Not to harp on it, but speaking of cashing, I was just thinking as I was looking at again some of these stats for Jessica. Obviously, it's a big part of the storyline is the distance between these two events. I mean, I look back, she's at 9. With that win, she's at $9,802. She's cashed at all 5 events she's played in. She's been in the top 10 at all 5 events she's played in this year. So she's won $9,800 in 2026. In all of 2024, she won $9,400.
So it's a good start.
She's already, eclipsed what she did in the entire season of 2024. And in between those, in 2025, she won about $19,000 last year. So she's halfway basically to what she won last year already. Nice hefty paycheck will do that. So congrats again to her. That was her 350th PDGA event.
Crazy. That is pretty crazy. It's good though. Good for her. And she gave a great interview.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
you got to figure those are that is like.
That's an interview you have probably recited 1,000 times.
It's been swirling around in your head what you're gonna say when you get to that. The top of the podium again, and heartfelt, and I think most of us had known about some of the struggles, that they had,
family stuff.
So,
and what a great putt to finish it on too.
Exactly,
just hitting that 30-footer,
right,
25, 30-footer, whatever it was, the way she did, and just the way she said, "I wasn't going to let somebody else win."
Yeah,
like. Cool. What were you thinking about? All the times I let somebody else win. I wasn't going to let it happen again. And just phenomenal. Great story. Congratulations again, Jessica Girthy. We have a little bit of PDGA news. The return of the IDGC. Courses and major competitions set to return to the home of the PDGA. This is an article out on PDGA.com. You can go read. It was released today. So it says, the wait is over. The International Disc Golf Center is set to end its operational hiatus following years of closure following 2 detrimental acts of nature. The entire facility, including the PDGA headquarters building and a brand new course, is set to open this fall, and the PDGA Champions Cup is set to return home in 2028. So 2 more years.
Okay.
So not this Champions Cup, not next Champions Cup, but the one after that. So the course is going to be designed by apparently Brian Earhart and Paul Macbeth, is what I think I read. So hopefully we get a little bit of some interesting course design. I do hope that they bring
Earhart's part of the design? I know Macbeth is. Scroll down a little.
I thought I saw Brian Earhart in here too.
I reached out to one of the biggest names when it comes to throwing the wrong hand, Brian Earhart, to help create a course that challenges all competitors fairly, no matter what angle, side, or distance you throw Macbeth at it. I'm honored to be a part of a historic project and thankful to those I get to work alongside with for the sister. Okay, I didn't realize. I saw that Brian had accolades in talking about being at the IDGC. I did not read as far because I'm not that smart, so I didn't read as far to see that he was part.
I'm carrying this show.
Yes, you are so much to see that he's actually part of it. So even cooler. So
I really hope, and I'm going to say this out loud, and I'm sure they will. I really hope that you bring in a woman to help look at the FPO tees and course, because I think having a great second set of eyes for a righty lefty combo is awesome for MPO. But neither of those players see what an FPO player will see on this same particular course. So I hope that they have somebody come in and help design the FPO side of the course, if it's going to be the same course. Now, I'm not even sure. Maybe they're going to do 2 separate courses, but
I would assume
my guess is that it's going to be one course with 2 different layouts, either pins or tees. So I'm sure it's been thought through, but just to say it out loud, let's make sure that that happens, so that we got someone to blame on the FPO side. We can point to Sarah Holcomb or something. It's her fault. No. That's the only thing. So the IDGC coming back in 2028. Looking forward to seeing what exactly is going to be happening and how that course is going to look after all the changes to the land.
Yeah.
Other PDGA news: the PDGA TD Academy. First-time TDs can sign up now through April 13th. So that is, if you want to learn how to be a tournament director, you can sign up for this, or I'll give you Terry's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. That's the main PDGA news. There were. They did make a clarification on time extensions last week, and we didn't really talk about it. Every hole in a playoff is considered basically a new round. So you get a time extension per hole.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it, just because we see so little of playoffs, and then on top of that, scale that down to how many times you need a time extension in those playoffs, and then how many extra holes it's going to go. I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, clearly those are the most crucial moments and everything else. I get that. And I guess I'll follow that up with, we saw time extensions called and applied this last weekend, didn't we?
Every week we're seeing some, but
okay.
I don't know. I don't feel like anything.
Are they doing their job?
Like
are the time extensions satisfying whatever intent we wanted?
How do I answer that? The time extensions are great. Well, let me put it this way. Extending it to 45 seconds on the fairway is fine. And then using those time extensions seems to be doing a job that if a player goes over those 45 seconds, then yes, someone might be calling them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's changed anything. I feel like the players we still see some players going over the 45 seconds without calling a time extension.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not called every time. A marshal usually is the one that's, like, if the player doesn't call it, a marshal might call it. But if a marshal doesn't call it, let's just say they go, if they go 50 seconds, do we want to get nitpicky and be calling somebody? I do. I think you should. Because it was 30,
Yeah.
and we gave you 45, and if you're going 45 and you're taking 50 now, like, at what point
And
are
then
we...
pretty soon you're going to be taking 55, and we're going to be like, well, it's only 10 seconds over.
Maybe we should give it up to 60 seconds. Yeah. We said this last year when it was announced. I don't think this is really doing anything other than giving the players more time. Like, it's not really doing much. I bet you there's less infractions now that you have 45 seconds because more players were going over 30 seconds than they probably are 45, but we still have a few players that are still even going over 45.
Right.
So, yes, there are less infractions. The time, I do like that people are being called for these time extensions because you get 2 of them around.
Sure.
But it's like, are they doing their job? No, because the PDGA said something along the lines of, we hope this will have players call more people on this. It's not doing that at all.
Yeah.
Like, that job isn't being done. So I kind of am very much now saying I don't care. Take 2 minutes. I don't care. Just, you know what does it matter at this point?
If we're not gonna regularly call it, then it almost does become
pointless.
Yeah.
It's like the jump putt to me now. PDGA came out and said something along the lines of they looked at all the jump putts, or they did a sampling of jump putts or something, and about 80% of them are technically foot faults. They sent I believe they even sent something to the players about possibly extending the circle one to eliminate jump putts to, who knows, 15 meters, 20 meters. I don't know. I don't care, because all you're doing is you're taking and just moving the foul.
Yeah, pushing the problem.
You're pushing the problem back. And some people are out here saying, well, it matters less because it's further away, so they're less likely to make it anyway. Cool. You're changing. You're not accomplishing anything by moving it back.
Right.
You're just moving where the foul is, because as we've seen, our players are getting better at putting than they were 20 years ago. The discs are better. The baskets catch better. All this stuff. The players they putt harder. They're more likely to hit chains and go in. Do you think that's going to change in 15 years? Are we going to see people from 45 feet now being able to, that look like, 30-footers now? Probably. These kids are getting so damn good. Gannon doesn't even need to jump putt from 100 feet out. He's throwing. I think we're going to see more like that. So all we're doing is pushing the problem back and prolonging our problem. We need to come up with a better solution. I know I've sat and harped on my having a meter behind the lie. I like my idea. I understand there's problems with it. I'm not saying that is the best solution. Maybe there's a better solution that I'm not thinking of. But just pushing it back and saying like, cool. Well, there's now the fouls are back there, so they're less impactful.
Yeah,
until they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where my last thing I'll say about the time extensions in general is there's a lot of people who will often say, I don't care about any time extensions. Let them take as long as they want. Like they're being genuine in saying that, like, it's a high pressure moment or it's a big tournament or whatever. Let them take as long as they want. That's all cute and fine and dandy. And if we're going to really literally apply that, which is not the case right now, but if we did, you could see someone stand on a tee pad for 2 minutes waiting for wind to die.
I know.
And I can't wait until...
Well, you can't right now.
No, you can't right now. That's my
30
point.
30 seconds on
but
the
people
tees,
say that all the time. The one of the biggest responses I feel like to the time, it's so dumb we even have a time. There shouldn't be a timer, period. There's a lot of people that subscribe to that. And to that, I say that's fine if 99.9% of the people were reasonable. I just don't feel like we would have that. You would literally have people standing and holding onto their putter on a 12-footer waiting for a minute for wind to just pass by or to calm down or to do whatever. People would instantly abuse the heck out of that. Well, abuse would even be in air quotes because you technically can do it, but that's what would happen. And I've said it 1,000 times. I'm already sick of watching all of the other divisions and so many other players emulate what they see on the top level players from all their mannerisms, and that includes all of their timeliness. To go to a C tier to watch someone, like if you blurred them out or did a shadow cutout, they're doing every mannerism someone like Gannon is doing, from the chalk bag to the, to the pumps to the whatever, and it's 48 or 68 seconds in, and I'm like, and then the problem is they are usually missing it.
Yeah,
Gannon pays off more often than not, but I'm sitting there watching these people take double their time limit to then watch them miss from 18 feet, and I'm just like, shoot me in the face. Stop. So, representation matters. All right, that's enough of that for tonight. Until next week when I'm pissed off about it again.
Or something else, hopefully.
Maybe not. I'm just so sick of watching players take forever. And I know where they're getting it from.
As I've said this to multiple people. PDGA, I'll be the bad guy.
Oh, we'll get you a badge?
Just as long as it says bad guy on it, as long as my badge. Oh, that's the PDGA bad guy? Cool. Yeah, he was flown in just to be a dick. He's timing every player the minute he feels like they start, and he's gonna click.
God, I would love to see like five,
it would,
like umpires at the beginning of a game.
Yeah.
I'd like to just see them all come out of Tournament Central. There's, let's just say 6. We'll make up a number, half dozen of them, 6 of them. And they're wearing bad guy 1, bad guy 2 shirts. They've got guns that when they shoot them off, a little flag comes out and says time. Well, I don't care. Boom, boom. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Oh my gosh. That would be incredible. And Johnny V would be leading that charge.
I would, if the PDGA were to bring me out to these events, I would be, granted, Terry, it would probably be the end of our podcast because we wouldn't get another pro to come on because they would hate me so much. Mm-hmm. But
some would love you.
Some might love me. But just to wait and sit there, the minute I watch the other guy finish throwing and I've stopped his time, to turn around on this guy and be like, click on the clock, and stare at him. Just sit and keep looking at my watch.
Then do you shoot the gun?
Well,
like
once
if they haven't, yeah,
if it hits 46 seconds,
mid throw, they're at 46 seconds. No, 48 seconds.
I have to first give them the time violation, so they have to get that.
Okay,
they get 2 of them.
Okay,
and I want to say I won't pick on any particular person.
No.
I'll pick on them all.
Right.
Anyone.
You just want the rules
just
followed.
click like that. I mean, I was a timer at quite a few swim meets for my son.
Same thing. Yeah.
So I mean. I'm
got this.
I'm good with I'm good with 2. No, because you have to have 2 timers. You have to use 2 of them because you stop one and then they have to keep this thing moving, so they go for another one. I can do it, folks. I'm there for you. Just saying.
Marshall, Johnny V, the timing Marshall.
Yeah,
the timing. We'll workshop that name, but
we'll come up with something better. But I'll be the bad guy. Just fly me out to all these events. Pay me,
and I can't get is it the Billie Eilish song? Bad guy in my.
I'm sure maybe I know it, but I couldn't rattle it off. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say when somebody hits the lottery, and that brings on a whole new connotation now that we're all tied in with Powerball. But yeah, maybe you could be like the Powerball official, timer official guy. I don't know. Let's do it. Any bright feedback on the board for that?
Not for this. No.
Okay, shocker.
Yeah, it's.
Could easily be spotted via
the PDGA app.
Oh, when they're talking about coming behind, falling behind cards and whatnot. Yeah, we won't get into a whole time.
No, that's fine.
We'll continue time conversation. But Johnny V, the hired bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again, it doesn't even have to be bad. Like some people would be like, "Thank you."
Some people might.
They'd be ecstatic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other official news?
No, but I would wear a giant clock like Flava Flav.
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
And then I think just for like emphasis sake, in the clock face, you would put in the old PDGA logo, the Ken Gill, like the old silhouette. Okay. That would have to be like the background of the clock face.
Okay.
Just to it'd be like retro.
Yeah.
Right? Like to go to the old PDGA logo. Because the new one wouldn't even fit in there that nice. It's more horizontally shaped anyway.
I think they've got a few versions, but yeah.
But yeah, you go to the,
Yeah, okay, I'm down with that.
Flava Flav, Johnny. Yeah, I don't know. There's something in there.
We'll workshop it, people. You can put it in the comments what you think my nickname should be.
Should the clock actually be a disc? You know how we used to put the clock pieces onto a disc, and people still do that, and then hang that.
I could do that, like hang the disc around with one of those clocks,
right?
As long as it was quiet enough. I mean,
Would you update it? Would you go digital?
No,
that defeats the whole point.
Does defeat the purpose? Yeah.
I don't know. I All right. Speaking of new inventions, I've got one. Do we want to talk about it now or in the after show?
Let's wait for
show it off.
Let's wait for the after show.
All right. We've got some some innovators are all out and about, and a little tease is that we've got. Yeah, I know. I just spoiled it. No, a little tease that we'll get into the after show. There's been some new products that have come to market. I've got my hands on one of them, and spoiler alert, we can give one away tonight. So one of the first ever to get your hands on it will be someone from tonight to possibly have you receive one of these. We'll talk about that in the after show. All right. Well, congratulations to, I think Raven said it best. Congratulations to the Charlotte Club and everyone involved from the event perspective. I say that many weeks and I mean it every single time. Without those clubs, without those supporting cast and crews, without the volunteers, the parks departments, probably the city commissions and tourism bureaus, all those people that help support the disc golf community to be able to pull it off, and then for the disc golfers to show up, and then the pro tour and the media and everyone else. There's a lot of moving parts there. So thank you to anyone and everyone for playing some role so that we could see disc golf in the Charlotte area yet again this weekend. And clearly the world, I didn't look for criticism. Usually just falls in my lap, but I didn't look for it. But I think pretty much everyone's on board with disc golf in Charlotte from the community perspective, the disc golf community perspective. And that's cool to see. It's definitely deserving of it. The rich history that's there and the incredible people that keep things moving on an annual basis is awesome. So congrats to everyone there. Congrats to our winners. Jessica Girthy on the FPO side, Gannon Burr again now on the MPO side. Looking forward to how players are going to take on the Champions Cup in about a week. Some will be at some other A tiers this weekend, but
and you'll be there giving your input.
I'm just going to do whatever Silas tells me. Remember, that's my secret.
Probably a good idea.
Big thanks, Raven Newsom. Awesome to have him tonight. Please, as he said, go out, follow his Instagram, support him, support other team members that he's captain of, and we'll continue to see, I think, great things from him.
Go get that pyro in May.
That's a good idea. Get you some. For Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. That's podcast 601. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we've got some cool new products to talk about and other stuff in the after show, along with some giveaways. We'll see you then. You step inside the Smashbox.
Thank you to our $2 and above patrons. Your name is listed below in the credits. If you are interested in being listed as a producer in the SmashBoxxTV credits and supporting this and other fine podcasts, please visit patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxx TV Podcast 601's After Show and Tell.
After Show and Tell.
Show and Tell tonight,
and
folks.
Tell.
I'm just going to lead right into it with the After Show. Welcome in.
I'm glad we're playing that game and not like Doctor.
That's the After Show.
Oh,
on the
great.
exclusive Discord Patreon member-only group.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, there's a little bit of irony, a little bit of coincidence, a little bit of timing. All of those things kind of play together. But just as recent as 2 a.m. last night, so less than 20 hours ago, I was over at my buddy Dave's house. I spent a lot of time at Dave's lately. I was over at Dave's. He's been so helpful with a ton of stuff. You've heard me talk about him countless times, as he is also the man in charge of the Dyers Guild. We've had him on the show, talked about all the things that he offers in helping people get off the ground with dying, disc dying. No, it's a little weird, no. With disc dying and everything else over at the dyersguild.co. Something he presented to me sometime last year.
Yeah,
the idea.
You were telling me about this weeks or months ago.
Yeah, the idea of some kind of disc display. And naturally, one of the conversations that came up as it was hanging on his wall at his house in his man cave is, I think, the MVP display or whatever they call it. I don't even honestly know. It's like an acrylic box.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at it. Many years ago, I had talked about some kind of protective stuff for shipping, not so much for displaying. Other people have talked about this for a while. Whatever. So that's essentially a square. And through all of Dave's, I don't know where he actually even got the inspiration, but through all of his ideas, he'd come up with a hexagonal shape to put discs into, to put them on display. And with that, over the last couple of months, he's designed and developed, now I've seen all the iterations, what he's calling as the Hive. And that one's a little tough to see just because it's all black. But here, put up this one real quick. I'll put up this one here. I'll put it up.
No one wants to see our faces anyway.
Good point. This should be our thumbnail. Maybe we'll get more views. This is obviously a dyed disc, which is a whole nother story because I think these are some of the most beautiful discs I've seen. But that's another story. A dyed disc inside of this wooden hexagonal enclosure. And now
the disc hive.
Yeah. So now what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I keep calling it the hive. So what this is magnetically attached. So it magnetically goes onto here. And so there's two pieces. So it opens up with a magnet. The magnet keeps them closed together, I should say. And then, so there's a piece of acrylic. It's always hard to line these up. There's a piece of acrylic.
Always just put it in front of your face. It's
There
always
you
the
go.
easiest thing.
And obviously the
Piece
disc.
of plastic.
And then in this case, this one has a full wooden back to it. This is one of his other iterations. I'll show you the other one in a moment. But this has the fully routed out back with a couple of different mounts. This is one of the older versions, but it was made of wood. He played around with all these different types of woods that I could never name or identify. I'm going to set this aside just so I don't. What he's also done with both wood and now some plastic, same concept, exact same size as the one I just showed you, except for this has technically 4 pieces to it. So we still have the top piece, which I'm going to pull off, which is on there with the magnets, which then has the acrylic. So nothing changes there, so to speak. Then, of course, you have the disc that goes inside. But then, again, attached with more magnets is the option to swap out this back piece. So you could get this in a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, because if you have a black disc, having a black back might not be ideal.
Bingo, Johnny. Look at you. So the piece goes in there.
Why isn't this piece dyed? Come on, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. The piece goes in there, attaches with a magnet. So the magnet holds the back onto it. Then obviously the disc. Now, what's really cool, did I grab the right pieces? Well,
it doesn't matter.
These are all going to be these are all going to allow you to mix and match as well. So whether you ultimately go with some wood pieces, or if you go with plastic pieces, or regardless of the plastic colors, you could do different combos. If you got 4 black ones along with 4 green ones, and you wanted to mix and match the tops and the bottoms, you're going to be able to do all of that. Yeah, kind of like a Lego mix and match. So I thought that was really cool. So regardless of whatever it's going to be made out of, whatever material or color you get, you're going to be able to mix and match them. And then again, you'll be able to even also choose the backing that goes in there. So that goes in magnets, sticks in there. You put the disc in, then you put the top on. And then many of you are
which was better than my idea of super gluing the disc to the wall.
Right. I don't know why that didn't
catch
stick.
on.
Yeah, why that idea didn't stick. One of my favorite things so far is the way that he's put the mount options in here. In terms of if you want to, is it countersunk? Is that the term? You could put a screw in so that it hangs perfectly like this in a vertical sense, or there's a mount so you could put it in that way and it could hang at that orientation.
Sure.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so put it back.
Yeah, it is countersunk. That is the correct terminology, Terry.
See, look at me. Like I run router thing machines. Okay, no, I don't. Okay. Put that on there. So, as you can see with the mounting options, you can do it either way. What are you doing?
I'm trying. I was specifically seeing how much pressure it took as if it's on the wall to actually slide this off, and it's a lot.
Okay.
Like I had to literally push kind of hard in order to get it to the magnets to kind of pop. So I know that if it's hanging up there, that it's going to be solid.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be any kind of problem.
No, the little
magnets are
the little rare earth magnets they're solid.
Yeah.
They're good. So yes, I was kind of trying to break it in a way.
So anyway, so that's if you're going to mount it. You know, you have the 2 different ways to do it, the 2 different orientations.
You can also set it on a shelf.
And I think honestly that's one of my favorite parts, because I see these getting then used also in a trophy-like format. Not that you can't hang a trophy up, but I like the idea, because I think one of the other things that will get developed is being able to put some kind of placard or have something go across there that says, Johnny V, 14th place, city track meet or whatever.
Dude, I was like 5th place of the city track meet.
And whether they go at an angle or they go straight across, again, whether you end up putting it on your mantle or on your nightstand or wherever you want to put it, or whether you hang it on the wall, you're going to have all those options.
And one of the things that Dave was saying is that the nice part about having the screw behind the plate is that if you do have a clear disc, you still don't see it, or any disc for that matter, as opposed to just putting a nail in the wall. You do kind of see,
Sure.
So
Anyway, very much in development, as I've now, like I said, seen a dozen different iterations at his house in terms of the different colors, the different plastics, the different patterns that can go onto the plastics. You can kind of do different finishes, so to speak. Like if you see, this...
different plastic types.
Yeah, exactly.
If you follow Germ at all, you'll see all the different type of minis and plastics that he's been doing, and similar to what Dave can probably do.
Yeah, you can do kind of all the finishes or textures, so to speak, that's on them. So anyway, I think it's really cool. I think there's going to be a healthy discussion about
Well, and what I like, this shape in general matches our logo, which is kind of cool.
True.
But one of the things that I think is also pretty cool about this particular design is just the different ways you can organize them and hang them on the wall. Like we've got some sound proofing that's on the right-hand side that are all hexagons, and I have them butted up on angles, obviously. So they're kind of they're just like this, interlocking like that.
Right.
So you could do that. You could interlock it where it's right next to each other. You could have special, a spacer, an inch space between them.
Yeah.
You could do different designs. Whatever you want to do. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I like that, in that there's going to be a little bit more creativity as to how you want to display them, whether you're pressing them directly against one another or you're providing some separation. And I think he's even talking about maybe some kind of a measuring jig that helps you consistently be able to put them from spot to spot. So,
and they've got the new hexagon disc from Trash Panda that could go right in there.
Right. Or you get the hex from MVP,
which is still round, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Trash Panda literally has a hexagonal disc.
Oh yeah. The six-sided disc by six-sided disc.
Six-sided disc. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good way to do it too. So, anyway, I know Dave's working on different materials, working on a few different options, then obviously trying to allow for a bunch of, customizable things in terms of whatever you want to do with them. I don't know what the price points are going to be yet. I don't even think he knows exactly. I guess the question is to the market is what.
Well, I think
what would someone pay? What do you want to pay? Oh, I want to pay $1.
Yeah.
No, but what is a reasonable amount to pay, and how much does it vary if you're talking about
I think it depends
high quality
on
wood?
Yeah, if you have like this is just kind of a standard wood. I don't know what type of wood this is. If it's,
How do you not know? I thought you were
I don't know. I don't think it's. I mean, it could be a maple.
maple.
Could be a maple.
Balsa.
Yeah, it's not
pine,
balsa. It's not pine.
conifer.
It's red oak. Okay,
Red
so
oak.
it's a red oak.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. Which is a fine wood.
Oh,
But I'm just saying
real
you could if it were like a stained maple, or you could even, if you really wanted to get fancy, go with some really unique woods. I think you definitely are paying for the price of the wood. And
mahogany, is that one?
Yes, mahogany is a good one. Yeah, yeah. Purple
Yeah.
heart, maybe like purple heart or something like that.
Mhm.
So you could definitely see the price. If a end user was like, hey, I'd really love this in this type of wood, you could do something like that, or and that's going to be a higher price point than whatever the plastic is, depending on what the plastic is as well. I mean, you've got PLA and TSA and FBI, TLC,
BBD,
OPP.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of options. ABC, the East Coast Family.
Yes, the whole East Coast family. No one should ever hire us to sell things. We just can't do it. Good thing no one's ever hired us to sell anything.
We sell nostalgia. That's what we sell.
Yeah. But no, I just think there's a lot of cool options that you could project with something like this with either side, depending if you go with the wood or the plastic.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know what roughly that price point looks like for people as to what seems reasonable. How many of these do you need? Are you getting this because it's your first trophy, your first ace disc, your first ever disc, the one or your first ever die disc, like how reserved is putting something like this?
I think there's a couple good things you can do with this. As you said, these could be cool trophies.
Mm-hmm.
In Wisconsin, when you win an event, you get a black disc. I think something like that. For me personally, this would be a special disc.
Sure.
That I would hang up.
Your second 1100 rated round disc.
Exactly. Yeah.
To go along with the first one you have.
Well, it took me 2 rounds to get, if you add them up, to get to 1100. So I shot 2 550 rated rounds. So I put both discs in there.
There you go.
No, I think for me personally, I think this is more of a fancy trophy holder disc.
Okay.
Something that I was like, oh wow, I really love this particular disc. Maybe I got it signed by all the champs at a particular event, or like you said, even a TD handing these out as trophies.
Right.
Something like that. I think those are, for me, that's where that lies.
I think one of the ways that I could look into using these as a tournament director, as you're just saying, the custom stamp tournament disc is going in there, right, from the tournament, but then that's where I go to the customization on the banner, so to speak, or the placard on
some
the
sort
front.
of placard.
That's where it says first place. Or 5th place, Johnny V,
Sure.
memorial
Dude,
event.
you have trophies down to 5th place. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Well, you knew I was coming. So.
Right, exactly. It's like, let's reserve one for Johnny. But that's one place where I could see leaning into it from a tournament director standpoint. Of course, everybody can display a million different discs for a million different reasons.
Tim talks about on the board. He does a lot of designs for art. Stamp. He literally is making art. So all the designs he's done in the past, he could see doing something like this. If you're an artist, we have John Dorn in Wisconsin who does a lot of that. Tim does a lot of that. But if you have a couple that you really love, like, oh, I really love it, I did for this local charity event or something, or this A tier that they asked me to do a thing for, I could see someone like that putting those in as well. Just, again, any disc that's precious.
Yeah, that you want. Yeah.
I've got a bunch of like discs that I think are just kind of cool that hang on the wall. I wouldn't call many of them precious. There's maybe a handful that are like, oh, this I wouldn't want this to fall off the wall and get scuffed up. Something like that, where normally I'm just hanging them on like just a dumb nail or some 3M tape or something.
Sure. Well, anyway, you're going to see and hear more about it. This, I opened this by saying a little bit of coincidence, a little bit of timing or irony, whatever you want to call it, and awesome. Matt Graham.
Yeah, today I saw this
morning made a post, and I want to give it full credit.
Aeroframe.
Okay. I called Matt on the way here today. I said, literally on the way to the podcast tonight, and I said, Matt, how funny. I said, we were talking about these at 2 a.m. These have been in development for quite some time. Yeah. Just as he said in his video, he's been developing his version for quite some time. He also said, I'm not sure quite yet on my pricing, which I thought was funny. He's working on his other marketing materials. His now coming in a completely circular look and design.
And he kind of showed it in the video, but I haven't seen like a real breakdown of it yet. Right. So just to see how exactly it's designed.
Yeah, I think it's going to have 3 parts. As I just kind of assembled this one with the acrylic, the 2 halves, and then the interchangeable back splash or back wall. I think he's doing maybe one less.
Sure, so like just those. A solid back.
I think a solid back with
sense.
One of 2 colors that he's going to offer for now. But he too is looking for options, things that he can do, things that people are maybe going to request. So it'll be exciting to see what they do. Here's the funny part. I know both of these guys very well. I think the world of both of them in terms of their ingenuity, in terms of the hard work and the thought process that they've put into them. I think people are going to gravitate to just purely a look or a practical use as to which one you prefer. I don't know if there's even going to be a huge difference or any difference in pricing. I know none of that because I don't even think they do.
No one knows the pricing yet.
That's just it. I think someone's going to say, hey, with the way my man cave or my trophy room is set up, I really am going to lean into more of a circular design. And some people are going to say, hey, I like what I could do with some hexagonal patterns and or ideas and shapes for my wall. I think they're both going to be great products. I already know this one for sure is. I assume Matt's are going to be great as well.
All right. So what I like about the hexagon now, Terry, and Dave, you're allowed to steal this.
Some puns?
No. I mean, those are a given. What I want now is LED on the inside with like an adapter on the outside that I can plug into another hexagon next to it and just chain them and plug them into a wall so they all light up. Now that's going to be a big pain in the ass and probably, not really realistic, but this is what I want.
As long as you can then get the LEDs that play to the beats of like
TLC
or Hip Hop Hooray, then
okay.
Yeah. I think you're talking.
I mean, and I know I'm just saying this, but wouldn't that be kind of cool to be able to like plug 2 of these together and just like lock them in?
Yeah,
and
like actual Lego pieces.
Like actual Lego pieces and have them light up. I'm just saying. Dave says the LEDs did cross his mind. I mean, you could easily do like a rechargeable LED.
Yeah, and put them in there,
and then you take it off the wall and plug it into USB-C and see how USB-C, see how, and then have them like recharge and plug in and have them lit up for special occasions or something like that.
Yeah, I think a legitimate challenge for both of them is having it be the right size so that there's not too much give or that they fit snug, so to speak. And I think
different size discs.
That's just it. Is you have everything from, and we're going to rule out for now Condors or Zephyrs or a disc of that nature. But I think you have to go.
I got that giant orange one, that plastic, the huge flyer.
Right. I think you have to obviously go as big as a rock or a buzz or any of your standard mids that are obviously a larger diameter, then down to some of your smaller typical putters. But even there, there's some variance with those, and I think both of them are working on solutions for how they're as accommodating as possible. So. Anyway, thought it was really cool. I wanted to share it. I think it's funny that we're going to see 2 people at almost the exact same time actively promoting these different disc cases. And I know others have thought about it, clearly. Tons of people have throughout the years. But 2 guys that were right on the verge of releasing information about them doing it at almost the exact same time will be kind of fun to watch.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't remember if it was you that told me about this, but But then I came to you a couple weeks ago with my own disc holder idea that I won't bother sharing here because I don't think it's necessarily, it's not gluing it to the wall as much as it is. But, and I was just thinking, like, I know I'm never going to do it, but hey, maybe someone like Dave would want to do it. And that's when it was like, oh, well, actually, look at, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny just how many people think the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, I think those comedians call that, what, parallel thinking?
Yeah, something like that. Parallel discovery.
Or at least that's what they claim. Anyway, we can give this away. If somebody wants it, and if you absolutely argue with me because you happen to be on and you're watching tonight and you say, there's no way in the world I would need one of those sweet-ass prototypes of this thing, and you don't want it, you want a different disc or something, you can let me know. But otherwise, the default will be whoever we pull for our Smashy giveaway tonight is going to get one of these very early run, not quite prototype, but definitely early run display cases.
Okay.
Thanks to Dave over at the Dyers Guild. He said, take it, show it to people if you want, and give it away if you want. So I think we should do just that. Disc not included.
No.
But I will say, again,
is that a wooden disc?
No.
It's a regular, because it looks like it's wood.
Doesn't it? Yeah. Again,
you're right,
I'm not much of a die guy, as evidenced by the one time Dave showed me how to do a disc golf die. I think these are some of the most beautifully dyed discs that I've ever seen. I think he's going to release a video with Brittany from Ugly Hand Dyes.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
They dyed those recently, and I think they are making a video and telling you how to do it.
Some sort of new method or different.
I don't
know if it's new, but just
I don't know. I think they're are genuinely as close to like a real piece of art that you could ask for.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Ugly Hand Dyes, I think, is what it is. Yeah. So look for Dave's channel. So if you care more about learning how to dye a disc, well, you'll have that answer
Dave's
as
got
well.
an option.
So, yeah. Okay. He's out on the board. He says, in some side note, wood dye tutorial coming soon. Yeah. I think I'm gonna actually try one of these.
The wood dye. Try to dye one.
Yeah. What I was saying is I could see doing like a semi-abstract version-ish of my logo here, and then having it like bleed out that way.
Okay.
And just try it.
I don't know how popular wood dyes are going to be. Just throwing
you throw them in
the minute you throw it in the wood, it's going to be like.
I know this sounds silly. This is something I would genuinely like hang on a wall, though. I think it's like a piece of artwork.
It is. It is more of a piece of art. I'm just kidding. As far as going
out and throwing it in the woods.
Yeah, you might as well just stamp it with a bunch of leaves too, and throw it in fall. But they're beautiful. They really are. And like you said, I'm the same way as you. I don't.
Yeah. What disc is this?
I don't know. I generally don't get excited about dyed discs. And maybe it's because the time we grew up, everything was like basically the same type of dye and yin yang and that type of that type of dye. But,
now that we're seeing cool stuff like this.
Yep.
Oh, I don't even think they tried this, but you know me. This is a drift, so it looks like driftwood. I cracked myself up.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, this is a drift. But
this podcast is a drift.
I'm just saying, like that was clever on my part. Driftwood.
It is.
Anyway, I gotta see what this disc was, just out of curiosity now. So disc not included, but we do have, like I said,
but Terry will get you this.
Case. This is also a drift. So So I guess not that I'm making any plugs for any particular disc, but clearly these take a dye pretty damn good as well to have it look that sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Streamline drift is what it was, or those both were. Anyway, so that's what we'll be giving away tonight. Super exciting. I'm going to Brian Earhart's for Jonesboro Open, and I know that's a couple weeks out. It was exciting to talk to him today because I haven't been there yet. We saw Sarah Hokum.
Yes.
And
you haven't been to his house yet.
I have not. So we saw Sarah Hokum, Charlie Eisenhood, and Germ. We're all there as part of the broadcast team. I will be in the booth with Brian for Jonesboro. And that's the first time I've worked with Brian in a booth scenario in quite some time. And I'm looking forward to it. Not to look past Champions Cup next week, but I did talk to Brian today and super excited that we're going to be at his studio in his house giving you guys the Jonesboro coverage.
I was really hoping this weekend, and I suggested it to Charlie because it is April Fool's in a few hours, that maybe he should do, pull some things on Earhart's house because Earhart was gone on the course. Short sheet his bed, maybe some saran wrap on the toilet, kind of just the classics, you know?
I feel like I should do that anyway.
No, you can.
I'd be like, oh, April Fool's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
There you go. See,
I know Brian's not watching right now, so
No.
he'll have no idea.
He's just got his own podcast. Why would he watch ours?
Exactly.
So,
Good idea.
I'm just saying.
Think of the
switch out the salt and the sugar.
Yep. Think of the near, and then take off the cap, right? Loosen it.
Yeah.
Think of the near nastiest things I can do to our good friend Brian, and I'll just do all of those.
I don't want nasty.
Freak nasty?
Yeah, freak nasty. Yeah, we amuse ourselves. That's what matters.
Right. Anyway, super excited about that. And I believe it's myself and Grant Zellner on the ground for Champions Cup next week.
Yeah, splitting duties.
So that should be a lot of fun as well. And I'm going to admit something to you guys. Don't tell anyone. I have personally not consumed any of the press conferences from the Pro Tour this year because a couple of them I was out of the country.
And there was none this past week.
And there was not one. So I think there's been 2 so far.
Because I think they were doing like a photo shoot for the Europeans is what I heard.
They did a Big Easy press conference and a SFO press conference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about the changed up format.
Having 3 people there.
And kind of just spreading it around and probably a little bit more loose and conversational.
It is.
Everything I was told not to do the first time I ever did a press conference in Jonesboro like 8 years ago.
Yeah, don't make
literally. This is not a podcast.
Do not make it a podcast.
And I'm not saying I'm going to even now either, but I just think with 3 people, and Brian even said, he's like, sometimes you would have a question and somebody else would actually want to answer it. And then you could even bounce around from person to person. And I'm looking forward to that style because there was always so much honed in pressure on usually one interviewer and then one person in the chair with 10 minutes allotted. And it was always just like...
It's a lot, and it's the same questions over and over and over that you're asking the people. And, it's a lot of... Yeah, it's just... In my opinion... Multiple people are better. Maybe you just take last week's winners and either put them together or they're the only 2 that are solo. Everybody else should be grouped. If you're having... Because again, let's just say you're going to have Calvin Heimberg at Champions Cup. Why?
Right.
Like just... You probably want him because he's one of the top in the world. Same thing. Same reason you have Macbeth on there. But what are you asking them? Like... How's it going? How did you prep for this course?
Right.
Like, Paul, is there more pressure? You're still looking for 18
again
and again, so it's just like, that's the problem is when you have these things repeated over and over, bringing in the same player a lot of times.
So I'm looking forward to it.
New format's good.
Yeah, I will go back and see, what felt like some of the keys to success to having still obviously a good press conference. But the idea of 3 people at, having that conversation all at once with 3 different people should be good. And I don't know if you guys have any other things on the board specifically that you would like to see or hear, but you'll have up until next week to actually give me any of that feedback if there's something you want to see or hear asked in the presser once I know everyone that's going to be in it, but we'll get that figured out. So
let's give one of these away, Terry.
All right, let's do it.
Patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV, where you can be eligible for our weekly giveaway, or you can go to SmashBoxx.tv/weekly giveaways. But to be a Patreon supporter, A, we like you more. B, it's easier because you never have to fill out some dumb form that I have on the internet that I hide. Then you have to listen to this podcast this long to figure out where it is. All that stuff. When you sign up for Patreon, you get yourself a commercial-free feed.
Still get our terrible 90s references, but there's no commercials.
We could add more of them during the commercials if you want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We could add 90s commercials into there.
True.
Like, where's the beef? That's probably the 80s. So
yeah, I think so.
But can you think of a 90s commercial?
There had to be maybe
I'm sure
Michael Jackson 90s Pepsi commercial somewhere.
The Michael Jordan Just Do It. Those commercials. Spike Lee.
Be like Mike.
Be like Mike.
Yeah, some Gatorade or Nike. Be like Mike type commercials.
All right, famous 90s commercials.
Yeah, and we're gonna there's gonna be a million of them.
The Waza.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah, all the Budweiser ones, the frogs,
the penguins.
Yep, Totino's pizza rolls. Pizza.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Ricola. Yeah, there's all of the Mentos. The Grey Poupon. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. These
All right.
were all easy ones.
Sure.
The Fresh Maker. Got I don't remember Cabbage Patch Kid commercials.
No, neither. I don't either.
I don't know. Huh.
A lot of Pepsi commercials, like Cindy Crawford
Yep,
in the Pepsi commercial. Folgers Coffee, where the soldier comes home, the brother comes home for the daughter. Double Mint Twins. What's number one? I'm just gonna scroll on number one. Herbal Essence. Oh yes, with the the shower commercial where they were having a lot more fun.
A good time.
Yep. Can't believe it's not butter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the Ring Pop one, but Push Pop. Snap into a Slim Jim.
I was just gonna say Slim Jim. Seems like that would be.
Anyway, patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV, where you can support this podcast regardless of how many 90s or earlier references that we give. You know, sometimes we'll go back 80s and occasionally we'll touch on the 70s. But we are going to give away one of these awesome disc hives. The black one, right?
Yep.
We're giving away the black one. Terry's not going to give up the wood one. He's probably going to keep that. Jeepers Creepers.
Got wood.
No. The answer to that is no. We have 97 people eligible for our giveaway today. Terry Miller.
97.
Yep. What number should we generate? I sorted them by email address.
I like that.
Yeah, so it mixes it up a little bit rather than just first name.
All right. Well, 97 is only 1 year off of our graduation year in 96, which clearly was our heyday.
A great year.
Some of our prime. So let's just take the first one number away.
One number away. Generate is 19. 19 is the number. And I go to our spreadsheet and I scroll up. So it was sorted and I scroll to the bottom. 19 is Dan Horwat.
Love it.
Dan Horwat. Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
You're going to get yourself one of these awesome disc holders.
Sweet.
So that's pretty cool. So congratulations, Dan. You are, where do you live, Dan?
Out in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Like. Home of our 2015 Worlds. Not too far.
Yeah.
I believe I even stayed in your town, technically, when I was out there at the 2015 Worlds. So
check the
doxing you.
Check the local CCAP.
Outside. You're in the neighborhood of Pittsburgh area. So yeah, good times. Of course, those times shared with what may have, well, it for sure went down as the first guy to ever accomplish snoring during our podcast while in the room with me, because my roommate at that Worlds was none other than our boy Dave Wastebloom.
Oh yeah,
and you and I were doing the podcast. And Dave graciously helped with accommodations for the week. We were both there playing, and he may have had a company hookup for the hotel room. And it was like, Tuesday night, we got to do a podcast. So you and I, and just a few feet behind me was Dave snoring during our show. So love me some Dave. And thanks for all the good times and a good chat and catch up with old Dave, who I know will listen to this at some point. Yes, and of course the 2005 Worlds, of which me and Johnny were also
that was a good year.
You know, Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Those were some fun courses.
Good times. Jordan Creek and
I really liked
Lehigh
Jordan
Valley.
Creek. I think Jordan Creek was my favorite.
Yep. Tinicum, and Nakamixon. Yeah, those were the
Nakamixon was not my favorite. Great course. It just beat
hence nickname Knock Your Dicks In.
Yeah, like it was
brutal.
It was.
I would love to see it. Today's players with today's skills, because at that time, it was fresh,
mm-hmm.
and B, it was considered to be truly one of the most brutal courses on the planet. It was pushing every limit I feel like we had in 2005. So, I feel like it underwent some problems or challenges or rearranging or something, but maybe not.
Yeah, we're hearing on the board Nakamixon is amazing. It's near his neck of the woods. So
okay, I wonder if it's the same. And then secondly,
it's probably beat in a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. It's for sure. I'm just saying, I wonder if generally the holes and pins are the same as they were, but just now worn in for 20 years. Now it probably plays great. And that's why I wonder, how tough is it compared to today?
Today's score. Yeah, that's a great question. We could probably honestly figure it out with UDisc, look at it, but we're not about to do that.
No,
tonight.
I'm just thinking I'm even curious as to the Mixon.
The distance?
The distance. Because there's probably only like 8,000 feet or something like that, which, by today's standards is, quite average. I guess I can go to our friends at UDisc.
Those guys?
Plug for them. Love it. And I don't know if I can quickly find it because I'm not smart.
There's a few different
6,000. Oh, okay, there it is. 9,288 feet. So yeah, still
a long course.
Yes, that is very legitimate, even by today's standards.
We're hearing it was closed for a few years due to the ash beetles, but it's back, and not much has changed.
Okay, well, I don't think I want to go play it anymore then, because it's still probably way too tough.
It's still too tough for us.
Yeah. That is incredible. Yeah, established in 2003. So good times out there, kind of, for some people. Not so much for me.
No, me neither. I think that course just tore me a new one.
Yeah, not.
I probably cried after that.
Speaking of, earlier we talked about Macbeth, course design, Macbeth Foundation, all that good stuff. They are, in fact, running it back on the Throw for More campaign. So I want to get that shout out in there. You're going to hear us probably talk about it a ton. We don't get any commission clearly or anything silly like that.
We should, though.
No, we shouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
But they are doing it again. They've moved it up, I feel like, a few months into maybe June now. Does that sound right?
Which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, more daylight. In fact, I thought I just saw some of the details. And since I am now blathering about it, I'll share. Throw for More, June 20th. So, awesome. Go out, support it. I know I had a lot of fun with it myself last year. And somehow they've already raised $2,607 out of a $50,000 goal. So, yes, Throw for More. I'm going to also put that right away in our chat board in case you want to click on it or looking for it. So, a great idea last year. I think it was met with wild success, and they want to keep that rolling, and I don't blame them. Out of the Dallas, Oregon, they lost 80% of the city park course due to the beetle. Yeah, the ash beetle, and yeah, so many of those nasty little things wrecking the IDGC as well. Man, the beetles.
They're the worst. It's notoriously known as the worst.
Yes. I don't have much else. You got any other stories? I mean, you got my hot... I don't know. I would like to follow up. Did anybody follow any of my hot recommendations from last week? Remember? I pitched Ted Lasso season 1.
Yes.
Right? Very timely on that.
Yeah.
I also talked up, Severance season 1. So a little behind on that one. But those were two good ones. I don't know.
I'm sure everybody has...
They went and looked for them?
They went back and looked for them again.
I didn't hear of these things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
okay. All right. Well,
nobody's following up on your hot recommendations.
That's all right. What will be coming out hot is some action. I've got the remainder of the Asia tour to get released, and that includes action from the Philippines, Japan, and China. So as that's continuing to get put together and is nearing its completion, look for those to be released. We've got the last 2 rounds of each of those 3 events, and I'm excited to get those out, and you can enjoy them, your viewing pleasure. Big thanks to Dave and a little bit of Johnny here for some assist on some new graphics. And with that, we can close it out.
Let's wrap this up.
I like it. We want to thank you guys for joining us in both the regular show and the after show. If you didn't get enough of those 90s references, well, you need to hop in your time machine and head on back.
There's always more.
You're missing some classics.
Got some more.
But we'll keep bringing them week in and week out. As Tim says, he's enjoying Daredevil episode 2 and 3 tonight.
Ooh, I don't think... I'm not there yet. We watched the first one. I don't know if we watched the first 2.
Am I gonna like it?
No,
I didn't. Just the name alone told me probably not.
Yeah, it's Marvel superhero stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like it's less superhero-y than like most of the movies, and it's really really good. But I still don't think you would dig it.
Probably not. Fair enough. I'll take your word on that. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. That's episode 601's after show. Big shout out to Raven Newsom in the regular show. Great to have him. If you didn't get a chance, go back, listen to that as well. With that, for Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you next week. You step inside the Smashbox.